All right, Shalom. All praise going on. It goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double unto the apostles and the elders of great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is another edition of GMS News and Prophecy, and I have an article here from express.co.uk, and this headline: Trump has been abandoned. Iran gloats U.S. has been snubbed by EU over sanctions. It goes on to say Iran's leader Hassan Rouhani claimed Donald Trump's allies in Europe have abandoned him after he decided to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal and reintroduce sanctions against Tehran. Okay. Now we here at GMS, we know and understand that the prophecies of America's allies coming against them has to come to pass. Okay, we understand that Esau over here in America, Babylon the Great, even which I'm gonna get the scripture, but it says the mother of Babylon shall be sore confounded, and shall come against America. All right, and we know that the mother of America is Europe, okay, and more specifically England. But now you have those countries, which were, once allied very strongly with the United States or America, is now turning to these enemies of America, such as Iran, Russia, and China. Doing deals and trading back and forth. All right, so now we're seeing more and more in the news of these things taking place and happening. Even in Europe over there, that place is totally divided, man. You got England and trying to leave the EU, which is known as the Brexit, and they still haven't really come to terms with it. It's going to affect the economy over there majorly, very heavily. So that's why they're doing these deals with these other stronger countries in the Far East, okay? Because, what they can see, especially in the financial world, is that the American dollar is weakening. And these other countries, their currencies are strengthening. So there's like a shift in power right now from the west to the east. Okay, so let me get some scriptures. Okay, let's see where I want to start here. Okay, let's get some scriptures. All right, let's go back. So let's go to let's go to the book of Obadiah. All right, I'm just going in the spirit for this particular lesson. Let's go to Obadiah, first verse in 7. First chapter in verse 7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border." Now, those that were confederate with America, okay, were mainly Europe, okay, other countries, mainly in Europe like England, France, Germany, okay, they were all confederate, with America. But it says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, meaning the money, okay, those that were using, the U.S. dollar, making it a strong currency, as far as the world reserve currency goes, the U.S. dollar is the top. All right, but it says they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, and that wound is the fact that these countries are leaving the use of the United States dollar. So now, the United States dollar is waning. Okay, its power is waning, and these other countries, their monetary systems are waxing stronger and stronger. Like in China and Russia. Okay, so now, you're starting to see the shift. Okay, so it says, verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So this is also so you know that it's talking about the so-called white man Esau, but mainly over here in America. Okay, so let me jump up a couple verses to, let's see, verse 4. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which is Esau, starting with America, United States. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiah Shai. And how was he bringing America down? How was he bringing that eagle down? By, first of all, destroying the economy, man. Destroying the trade and the alliances that these American Edomites once had with their fellow Edomites. Okay? And they're going towards their enemies. All right, so let's go back in the article here. Let's read some of this. So it says the crippling sanctions reintroduced in August by the U.S. administration led to the isolation of Washington, Mr. Rouhani said. All right, so now you have America basically on an island by itself right now, because the President Trump, he has this so-called Make America Great Again, America First policy mind state, to where he wants America to just dominate, but you can't dominate without allies. So he's digging the hole for himself, and this eventually, through prophecy, is going to lead to America's destruction. Okay? So back in the article, it says, speaking to Parliament in a speech broadcasted by the country's state television, the president of Iran claimed it does not happen often that the U.S. makes a decision and its traditional allies abandon it. A year ago, no one would have believed that Europe would stand with Iran and against America. Against America. Okay? So now let's go into another prophecy. All right, and let's deal with Europe real quick. Let's go to the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right. Around verse 40. Right, now let's start at verse 40. It says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. Now this fourth kingdom is speaking about the Roman Empire. All right, it's like with the pagan Roman Empire, which is, when you read the prophecy, it's going to lead all the way until this new modern Roman Empire that America represents. Okay? Because it still is the Roman Empire. Same policies and certain setups and governments, that's how Rome was set up, and America set up the same way. All right, so it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, meaning the military might. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And America was known as in the scriptures is known as the hammer of the earth. All right. But now the hammer of the earth, or America, is not breaking in pieces these nations anymore. These other nations, were once scared of America and its bombs and its nuclear weapons, but now they're getting nuclear weapons. Okay? So these things are coming to pass now. All right, verse 41, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. So, and America's a part of the fourth kingdom. So now it's being divided, man. You're seeing Europe against America, America against Europe, Europe against itself. Okay? It says, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Okay? It says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Okay? And that's what's, what we're seeing. America's still strong, but it's weakening. England is isolating itself or separating itself from, the European Union. Countries like Greece and Portugal and Spain, they're weak. But countries like Germany and and Turkey are strong. So that's that partly strong and partly broken. All right, it's the things that we're seeing being talked about in the news today. All right, that's why this is news and prophecy, because it goes hand in hand. All right, verse 43 says, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." And we're seeing that these countries and these leaders are not seeing eye to eye right now. Okay, Trump and American England is not seeing eye to eye right now. Okay. America and France in certain instances are not seeing eye to eye right now. Germany neither. All right, so they're not cleaving one to another. Verse 44. It says, "And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom, which is the kingdom of Israel, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." That's the kingdom of Yahweh Shai and the kingdom of Israel to come, the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, but verse 42 and 43 was the points, and that's what we're reading about. This fourth beast, all right, this new Roman Empire, all right, modern Roman Empire, America, all right, and its allies, they're coming against each other and it's falling. Okay, so when you go to the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah, I think it's the 49th chapter. Let's see, 49 and okay, let's see. Actually, might be 48. All right, bear with me for 1 second. I'll just type it in. All right, the mother, that bear. Let's see. Jeremiah, 50 and 12. And this is dealing with Babylon. This is Jeremiah 50. I started at 10. It says, "In Chaldea shall be a spoil." Chaldea is another name for Babylon or America. Okay. It says, "Shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord." That's because they're going to destroy America with thermonuclear missiles. That's why we're seeing in the news now, man. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, oh, you destroyers of mine heritage. You can't say that the United States of America does not destroy the Israelites, so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, it says, "Because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls," meaning the power and the riches that America has gotten off of our slavery here, still to this day. Verse 12, it says, this is the prophecy I wanted to get. "Your mother shall be sore confounded," which is England, Europe. All right, "She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert." Okay, because the destruction is coming. But first, all these countries are going to be ashamed that's been allied with America. All right, that's why in the article it says that they're abandoning her now, man. Okay, all right, Trump has been abandoned. All right, Iran gloats U.S. has been snubbed by EU over sanctions. All right, so we're seeing these prophecies unfold, man. Okay, and this is, from coming from one of America's enemies. So it says Russia, China, India, the European Union, and some African and Latin American countries are our friends. All right, that's talking about Iran. We have to work with them and attract investment because it's about money. That's why it says they that eat thy bread have laid no wound under thee, because they're doing money deals with Iran instead of doing money deals with America. So now that's going to cause America to fall. All right. It says, and in a call for unity against the United States, Mr. Rouhani urges Parliament to come together. He added, our main enemy, America, faces us with a drawn sword, and we have to fight it, and we have to unite. What the scripture talks about in the book of Psalms, that the words of Esau are drawn swords, because America says one thing and then it does another. Let's see, Psalms. Is it Psalms 57? Might be Psalms 58. Okay, let's see. I'll just type it in. All right, let's look up drawn swords. All right, because that's in the scriptures. Psalm 55. Okay, here we go. Psalms 55 and 20. All right, I started verse 20. It says, he hath put his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Now, these are not the sanctions. You know, they were at peace with Iran and certain things because of the deal, but now, you know, they're saying that Iran has broken the deal, so now America's putting sanctions on Iran, okay? But America's also putting sanctions on its own allies and people that were at peace with them at one point. That's what we're seeing now, okay? All right, verse 21 is the point. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, because ultimately they want to use war, all right? Especially America through the elites, they want to use war to bring these other countries under their control. All right, it says his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay, so that's what we're seeing here with these countries, man. Okay, I'm gonna read this again in an article that says he added, our main enemy, America, faces us with a drawn sword. That's why they're saying these sanctions and things are hurting them, man. Okay, and the prophecy in the scripture talks about the words of his mouth are drawn swords, and that's their documents. You know, the sanctions and the deals. You know, so we're seeing these things come to pass. 2018 is a year of prophecy. All right, it says America faces us with a drawn sword, and we have to fight it, and we have to unite. Who's going to unite? All these countries are going to unite with Iran and Russia in the last days to destroy America. Okay? It says, regardless of factions, we are all a part of the Iranian nation. All right? So he's rallying his own people first in Iran. Then the other countries are going to come in and join them. All right? It says, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump the chump. All right, it says pulled out of the JCPOA, the official name of the deal in May. Now to say that they've broken the covenant, okay? Branding it disastrous as it only made Iran richer. After that, he reintroduced the hefty sanctions already in place before the deal. But the EU issued a blocking statute to hinder their application, effectively acting against Washington. The agreement, which lifted sanctions against Tehran in exchange of it shutting down its nuclear program, was signed in 2015 by the then U.S. President Barack Obama, Russia, China, France, the UK, Germany, Iran, and the European Union. Mr. Rouhani's shocking claim comes as the day set by Mr. Trump to introduce new sanctions against Iran. November 4th approaches. Okay, so we're in that time, man. Okay. All right. So these countries are really starting to really come against this place. America's done. All right, Babylon the Great, aka the United States, is done, finished. All right, its days are numbered, and its destruction is at hand. So let me leave off with this scripture in the book of Revelation. Revelation 17 and start at verse 10, because this goes hand in hand with the 10 toes. All right, Revelation 17 and 12. All right, and this goes hand in hand with the 10 toes in Daniel. All right, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings when now are with the beast. That's your European Union and your NATO, mainly your NATO, because they've all come together, with America being the whore that's leading America, that's leading the beast system. All these countries are in power with each other for a short amount of time. All right, verse 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay, they shall make war with the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, because ultimately they're all going to stop fighting each other and try to fight the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord. And Yahweh Shai himself is going to come back in those so-called UFOs, those chariots. And these countries are going to come together to fight against them. All right. It says, "For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." And he saith unto me, "The waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth, which is America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." And America holds all these people within its borders. Okay? "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." And we're starting to see the European Union come against America and start to hate America now. All right, verse 17, "For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled." So this is all the Spirit of the Lord doing this, man, through prophecy. Okay? So, hey, man, it's coming to pass, man. This is the end of this place. All right? America's about to be destroyed real soon. And then the kingdom of Israel, like we read in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, that's going to be set up soon. All right? But with that, I'm going to end it there. Give our praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kodash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom.